So here we are, my first ever Crit 4 cat race. This was Castle Combe Easter Classic on Good Friday. It starts off much faster than I expect. You can see me, this is the very start and I'm hitting nearly 800 watts. My heart rate's just getting measured now, but about 145, but that's rising. We're already hitting 21 miles per hour around this first bend. Again, they're at 800 watts. I'm just trying to keep up at the moment. It definitely went off much faster than I expected. Just settling in now. My watts have come down a little bit. I'm just trying to get on these wheels. As this is my first one, I'm not used to riding in a group, so there was people around me. I was really conscious that I didn't want to be the one to mess up and crash or clip someone's wheel, so I'm just trying to stay out of the wind. It was really windy that day. As you can see, 0 watts at the moment, so I'm just coasting around at the moment in the group. I'm definitely towards the back of the group at this point, but just trying to sort of find my feet and find out what this was all about. I take this chicane slightly out to the right, drift off to the right slightly. A couple of people behind me shout out, and I've realised I've not stayed in the line. Still just getting used to riding in a group, and as you can see, then some people start to get away. So I start to push the watts again. I think I hit about 600 watts. Just to try and start to catch up. 28 miles per hour at this point. My heart rate is nearly 170, which is really quite high already, and we're only in a kilometre. We're not even around the first lap at the moment. I see this group all pushing, so I'm thinking I don't want to lose them straight away, so I'm pushing quite hard again just to catch up. And then as we reach this second chicane, I manage to catch up. Things slow down slightly as we go around this bend. Again there you see me hitting 700 watts. People are starting to get away again. We're approaching this final bend of the track, and this is where really my racecraft is no good. This is where I'm not used to. I've never done this before. And as we come around this bend, I'm assuming everyone's going to stay at the pace we were at. But if you notice, some people start standing and start pushing, and by the time I react, they're starting to get away. And then before I know it, I'm in the wind, and as you can see, they're slowly getting away, and I just feel like I'm fighting the wind on my own. A couple of people come past me. My watts drop. My heart rate now 177. That's nearly hitting its max. So it's at this point, it's not even a lap to go. I'm coming up to the end of the first lap, but they're all disappearing off. And from that point now, I'm pretty much doing a time trial. So now nearly 3.5 kilometres in, I assume I'm all the way at the back, and then this guy comes past me and he's powering on his own. He really wants to catch up, and I'm thinking, well, maybe if we work together, if I can get behind him and we work together, maybe we can start catching up with the group, at least doing something to help each other. But he's really going for it, and I struggle to keep up. It's super windy, so I'm thinking, oh, do I shout out to him? I'm not used to etiquette at the moment. Do I shout out and say, should we work together? I'm not really sure what to do, and he's powering on. I'm thinking, well, I don't think he wants to ride with me. He's not made any indication that, we're going to ride together, and he's still powering on. And My heart rate again 170. I'm just trying to keep my heart rate down. It's really quite high, and then eventually this man in front, he slowly gets off again, quite far in front of me. As we come round back to the start line, this is where all the family and friends are. So you probably see I have a little spike in my watts, but I'm finding it really hard not to just do. I'm just doing a threshold effort here, really, just plodding along. I got no one around me. I'm just on my own. I see my family. I see Becky and the kids. So I think I'll probably put in a little bit of an extra push, and then I just settle back into a threshold ride again. This is the same chicane I had on the first lap where I'd come too far to the right. Now that I'm on my own, I'm having a good chance to see the best line, see how it works, and I wish I'd known the course a little bit better, but I'm sure if I do a few more in the summer, I'll get to know exactly where all the bends are. Again, this is just past the start line, so see all the people again cheering. They're all cheering me on, even though I'm pretty sure I'm at the back, or there may be a couple of people behind me, but it's nice to have people cheering you on. They're all very friendly and positive. But as you can see, my heart rate is hitting 180, so I really am pushing it at the moment. I think it's just fighting the wind on my own. 10 kilometers now, so this is halfway through the race. You can see this group, I assume they're the breakaway. They come ahead of me and they are still going. I'm going 20 miles per hour. There's no way I'm keeping up with them. Again, not sure of the etiquette, but I'm pretty sure I'm not in this race anymore. So I'm just trying to stay out of the way. I don't know whether to be on the left or the right, but I'm just trying to stay out of the way. They come along and then the main peloton, I think, starts to come. Actually, that was a small group of riders there, and then here they all come. I'm flying past. As you can see, I'm hitting about 26 miles an hour here. My cadence has gone right up. My heart rate is still high. These guys are flying past, so it just goes to show how fast they were going. And I felt pretty embarrassed that they were lapping me, but it's my first time, and I'm interested to see what I'm capable of going forward. You can see them drifting off again in the front, heading towards the bend where I lost them in the first place. And as you go round the bend, that's where you really hit the wind, especially on your own. That's where I really felt it.
Windy, isn't it? It's windy.
Another group comes past me now in a bit of a bunch, in a bit of a line, so I think, well, maybe if I just put in a bit of effort. They're probably a lap ahead of me at this point, so this is probably not the correct etiquette again, but I'm just so worn out from the wind, riding on my own. I know I'm not going to keep up with them. I know I'm not really in this race. So I just see if I can just stay on their line just to save a bit of energy as I go round. And again, if I can help anyone who slots in behind me just to save a bit of energy, then so be it. This gentleman here on the right comes behind me. I carry on for a bit, but as you can see, 182 my heart rate is, which is super high, and I don't think I can even keep up here. So in a minute, again, flick my elbow and the guy comes through behind me, and then I see this group go off. I'm so worn out at this point. I'm just trying to get round. I don't know how many more laps I've got to do. I think we were working quite well as a group. You can see the medic motorbike there. And then it seems like, yeah, the guy on the left here is at number 81. He decides he's going to go up to the front, and then this line that we have completely breaks apart. Everyone starts putting on the power again, and this is where I think I can't I can't keep up anymore. So I flick my elbow in a minute, and the poor guy behind me, sorry, he's got to put in the extra power to catch up with the wheel in front. But as I said, at this point, I'm done. I'm just trying to get round. 183 beats per minute, my heart. That's pretty high, even for me. So it just shows how much effort I'm trying to put in. Start of another lap now, and as you can see, this gentleman on the right slowed right down. I think his race is over. Number 84 comes past me now. I assume he's lapping me. My heart rate's still 173. That's still really high. I'm struggling to keep it down. I stay behind him for a little bit, but I just don't have the energy to catch up with his wheel, so I'm getting no benefit from him at this point. Just coming up to the end of another lap. Nearly 18 kilometers in, so this will be the final lap. You'll hear the bell, which signifies that it is the final lap for me. I'm sure the main group had that some time ago. I think they were coming towards the end up behind me, but at least I knew I wasn't going to get lapped again because they were about to finish. As I come round this final lap, you can see there's lots of people who have slowed right down. They know we're not getting any points for this. And I see a guy on the right who I passed earlier. I think he's walking back. He's decided it's going to be quicker for him to walk back to the start line rather than it is to cycle around the whole thing again. Don't know whether he's got a problem with his bike or whether he's just done, but he'll come up on the right in a moment. It's interesting to see my heart rate still about 181 at this point, just coming past the start line. It just goes to show that with the crowds and other people there, that I was pushing it past that start line just to show I was still in the race in some way. "20 kilometers in now, coming up to the end of the race for me. I saw the Cat 3 group start off ahead of me, so they've just started. Pretty sure all the people that are left at the start line are, well, Becky and the kids, and everyone else is there to see the higher category race. But they all gave me a cheer as I came in, and I was pretty much done for. You can see my watts going up again, just because I knew it was the end. Final little push, but I don't know how people can sprint at the end. 184 beats per minute at the moment. And there it is, the end of my first ever race. I hope to be back and see some improvements next time.